Okay, so I'm first going to prime my eyes with this Naked Skin concealer. This is just to cover up any redness on my eyes as well. I'm blending it out with a Real Techniques contour brush. And like always, I'm going to set it just with this Maybelline Fit Me Powder. This just makes the eyeshadows go on so much smoother and like not stick to the concealer that I just put down. So for my transition colors and everything, I'm going to use the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Sorry I've been using this so much lately, but I just can't get away from it. So I'm first going to start with Golden Ochre, this shade right here. And I'm just going to put this all over my transition or all over my crease, really not being like precise. And I'm using a Morphe 441 brush. This is just like maybe a shade darker than my skin, but it's just gonna make the next shade I put on blend out a lot easier. So next I'm gonna take Raw Sienna, which is a lot warmer than this last shade and a little bit darker, but I'm just gonna take it on this same brush and blend that into my crease. And I'm being a little bit more precise with this because it is a little bit darker. For this eyeshadow look, I'm going to create kind of a halo effect. So that means darker on the outer corners and on the inner corners, and then like a pop of color on the middle of the lid, which I'm going to use my Urban Decay Moon Dust palette for. And so for the darker colors on the outer and inner corners of the eyes, I'm going to use Cyprus Umber, which is just a nice deep brown. And so I'm just really going to pack this in first before I start blending, just because I want to make sure that I keep the center of the eye clear. You should honestly probably use a smaller brush for this for the inner corner, but I'm just using what I got. Lately I've been loving putting like dark shadow on the inner corners of my eyes because I feel like my eyes are a little bit more like set apart than most people's. I definitely don't think I have like a wide set of eyes, so putting darker shadow on the inner corner like brings them together a little bit, and it also just makes any look like so much more smoky. And then I can add a little bit more of that Raw Sienna, and then I go and darken it up. Just because when I blend it out, usually some of that pigment gets taken away. Now for my favorite part. So I'm gonna use a glitter glue before I put on the shadows, just because when I was testing it out yesterday, I saw that the glitter glue made it so much more pigmented. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just using this NYX Glitter Primer, and I am going to put that all over the center of my lid, and I'm just gonna do that with my finger. Then taking the magnetic shade from the palette, this purpley one, and a Morphe 421 brush. Just gonna pack that all right in the center of the lid. I'm honestly not a fan of like real glitter because it has so much fallout that it drives me insane. And it also kind of hurts my eyes if it like ever gets in my eyes. But this shiz is freaking beautiful. For eyelashes, I'm going to use these Koko lashes in the style Marlyn. They look like this. Super pretty, and they look pretty dramatic. First, I always put on like a single coat of mascara before lashes. Alright, now that I have finished the other eye and put on my lashes, I'm going to move back to my face. So for primer, I am using the NYX Hydra Touch primer, just because my skin's been really dry lately. And then for foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. My shade is in 103 Natural Buff, and I'm just going to put this on with a Real Techniques sponge. This has been like my go-to foundation lately, just because I was using the Maybelline Fit Me for so long, and I just convinced myself that I like loved it so much. I feel like it does not keep me matte. I mean, it's still great foundation, don't get me wrong. I definitely still really recommend it, but it doesn't keep me as matte or give me as much coverage as this one does, and so I've been using this one a lot more. I feel like this is more of a nighttime look or like a going out look, and so you want a foundation that's maybe more full coverage than you usually would wear. I'm actually going to use a different concealer other than my Maybelline Fit Me today. I'm using the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I definitely don't like this one as much as the Fit Me, but it's still a good option for sure. And then I'll use the edge of this concealer to clean up that part of my eye. Then just go and highlight my chin, around my mouth, above my eyebrows. Yeah, I think this concealer dries a little bit quicker, so you just have to work it in sections. Now I'm just gonna powder my whole face with the Maybelline Fit Me Powder, like usual. And then I'm gonna look dead. It's gonna be really cute. For bronzer, I'm just going to use this NYC Sunny Bronzer. I'm feeling like trying something different today or just doing something different, and I haven't used this bronzer in a minute. This literally used to be my every single day bronzer. Like, I think this was the only one I owned, and I would go through them so fast. It is like a little bit more orangey tone than I'm used to, but I feel like when you're a little bit tanner or like in the summertime, I really don't mind it. Especially if I'm just using this to warm up my face and not like contour, which I am contouring a little bit, but like mainly just bringing some warmth back to my pale ass skin. For highlighter, I'm actually using something different today. I'm using this Essence Pure Nude highlighter, and it's in the shade Be My Highlight. I think there's only one shade though. You can get it at like Ulta. And I'm using an e.l.f. bronzing brush and just putting that on my cheekbones. This doesn't look like anything in the pan, but when you put it on your face, it's so pretty. I heard about it from Kathleen Lights. It's basically one of my favorite people ever. A little bit on my nose. For blush, I'm using this Wet n Wild blush in Apricot in the middle. I really just wanted something really peachy because I want to go peachy with like my lips. And this is just like a perfect color that could go with like any look. Ugh, so much freaking texture on my cheeks right now. Like, look at that. That's so hideous. Let me just bring it out and put some blush on it. Cute. Alright, for eyes, I think I want to do a little bit of a inner corner cat eye. Alright, so I zoomed y'all in a little bit so you could see better. So I just took that raw Sienna shade and I angled it inwards. And then just am tracing it along my bottom lash line. And then I'll go in with the Cyprus Umber shade, the dark brown, and follow that line that I made. And then I'll just take a fluffier brush in that golden ochre shade and blend out. And then I'm going to take this Rimmel Kohl eyeliner in Nude and put this in my waterline. I'm using my CoverGirl Supersizer Fibers mascara. And finally, for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to use Vermeer. And then for my brow bone, I'm going to use Tempera. Alright, I'm going to go do the other eye. So I just did my brows and I used the e.l.f. brow pencil. This color is in Taupe. I just got this. I think it's pretty new. I like it a lot. Like, I feel like the color's great, but the problem is the stick on it, like, doesn't really sharpen, which is kind of annoying. But then I set my brows with this Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. It's just a gel mascara. It's not like too great, but it's not expensive at all. So since there's so much going on with my eyes, I really want to tone it down for my lips like usual. So I'm just going to use this Maybelline Nude Embrace matte lipstick. It is one of my favorites. I mentioned it in my like best drugstore nude lipsticks. I will link that down below if y'all want to check it out. Alright guys, so that is the finished look. I hope y'all enjoyed the tutorial, and don't forget to like or subscribe if you did, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye!